I used to come back from school and argue with my parents every single day. It was so bad that I remember one night I was playing video games and my dad was like pretty upset with how addicted I was that he just unplugged the router. And looking back, this sounds kind of weird, but I was so upset and just so frustrated with my parents in that moment that I legit just tried to wrestle him away from the router to plug it back in. Like, that's how angry I was. I always felt annoyed with my parents when they would try to, make me study and actually not play video games for 10 hours a day. And I was never actually quite happy with life in any real way. And so possibly a lot like you, I decided to cope with all of this frustration within me with video games, junk food, overstimulation. For the entire day, that was all I would do because I was just so fed up with life and my parents and all these people around me. And I needed something to fill the void that was inside of me. If you can relate to anything I've just said, I just want you to close your eyes and just do this visualization for me. Just imagine you're in like a different world where instead of arguing with your parents every single time you come back from school, both of your parents are smiling at you. They're so happy to be with you and you're so happy to be with them. You feel 10 times more close with your friends and you're able to create some meaningful memories with them. Well, I have good news for you because you can actually get all of those benefits from just this one habit that I started doing about a year ago that has genuinely just made life so much better for me. And I want to share this with you because this is probably something that you've never even considered. And this habit is pretty much the antidote to all of this frustration that's within you right now. So the one habit that has legit changed the trajectory of my life and made me 10 times happier is gratitude. And I know 90% of people have just clicked off the video because they're so eager for some quick fix, but you're different. If you stick around and actually hear me out instead of just scuttling away like all the other crabs out there on YouTube just addicted to this content, then you will not regret it. You will not be the same person in the next few months. So if you think about our entire generation as a whole, we have so much to be grateful for, right? You're probably in a first world country with all of your basic needs fulfilled. Your parents give you pretty much everything you need. They've literally bought you video games, they give you food, you have a home, all of these things. We have so much to be grateful for, and yet we're probably the most ungrateful little shits in the entirety of our bloodlines, right? Like, if you were to think of our entire generation, if you were to think of some of your friends, like, just think back to some of the conversations that you've overheard or had with your friends in the past few weeks. They're complaining about their parents not buying them shit, some shit about what our parents have said. Your dad has come back from work every single day for years on end, and yet you've never actually gone over to him and said like, "Oh dad, I'm grateful for you, thank you for all the work you've done for me." Your mother has cooked for you thousands of times. She has made all of these meals for you with happily. She has not complained once, and yet we're still here like crouched on our little shitty gaming chair that we forced our parents to buy for us, just like being annoyed at them coming over to be like, "Oh shit, they're gonna tell me to stop playing games for 9 hours." And so of course your parents probably hate you. Like, real talk, you seem so annoying to your parents. Nowadays, we keep on filling our minds with all this negativity, all this, hyper-realistic stuff that goes on online. And yet we fail to actually appreciate our parents. Instead, we're just complaining every single day. We're never actually grateful for them. And in their eyes, we're just so annoying, aren't we? And so, of course, we're killing ourselves more than ever. Of course, suicide's higher than ever. Of course, your parents hate you. Of course, you can't find any meaning in life. And so you distract yourself and cope with all of this with video games, with junk food, with overstimulation. It's like the sad cycle of us seeing this stuff online, not being grateful for our parents, and so they don't like us. And so we don't feel good about ourselves, so we watch more stuff online. And so we're even less grateful for our parents. And the truth is, we've never been taught any of this in schools. We've never been told about this anywhere, really. Like, here's just a quick side note. Think about how useless school is in some ways, bro. Like, they don't have time to teach us about gratitude and being grateful for our parents, but they have all the time in the world to educate us about transgenderism and how some blue-haired woman is currently fighting the white males out there. It's this constant cycle of negativity that just funneled into our minds. And so even though we need gratitude and all these good habits the most, we don't do them. We need to rewire our brain for happiness, and the way we do this is to simply make other people happy through gratitude. I found that when I was doing gratitude often, when I was just saying grateful stuff to my parents, to the people around me, I just got so much happier because it's almost like a transaction. When you're grateful to other people, they will sort of be happier and then you will be happier in turn. And so we don't need to overcomplicate this shit. The way to use gratitude so that we're actually better off in life is just go over to your mother and hug her and tell her how grateful you are for her cooking for you every single day. Go to your father and tell him from deep down, from the deepest point in your heart, that you are grateful for him coming from home every single day to provide for the family. You don't actually need to overcomplicate this shit. In order to use gratitude to improve your life, you just need to be more grateful for the people around you. And so I challenge you to do this right now. Instead of just feeding your content addiction, stand up right now and go over to your mother or father and just hug them. Tell them how grateful you are for them. That is your only actionable step for this video, because that is all you need right now. When you start being more grateful, it's almost like a level in a video game where the more you do it, the more happier you become. So at the start, you might feel like these weird bullshit thoughts about what you're doing. You're like, it's gonna be kind of cringy going to my mother and hugging her. I don't want to do it. I feel uncomfortable with my father. But when you swallow your ego and you actually go ahead and do it, over time, you just stop having these weird self-defeating thoughts about how the good habit is bad. And instead, you'll just be grateful. You'll be more present and you'll just be happier. You need to start leveling up the skill of gratitude if you want to be happy. And honestly, I can say this with full conviction. It will genuinely change your social life, because when you do this for a while, like I've been doing this for a year, now I no longer need to fill the void with more video games, more parasocial relationships through YouTube and overstimulation. If you're not a pussy and you're actually looking to take action, this will actually be a very easy one as well. What you need to do is you need to just take a piece of paper and just write things that you're grateful for. It's called gratitude journaling, and it's pretty much just you rewiring your brain to be happier by just manually implanting thoughts onto a piece of paper about how grateful you are for the things that you have. And so what I recommend you do, if you want to actually take this seriously and be more grateful, is you just take a piece of paper every single morning, like have a specific time blocked out for this, like 5 minutes, and just write down like 3 things that you're grateful for. It might be like the conversation that you've had with your parents. It might be the dinner that your mother cooked for you yesterday. It might be, like for me, how my father literally just drove me to my cricket practice, even though it took so much of his time, yet he still did it for me. When you do these things, eventually what happens is that you no longer have this negative outlook on life that everybody else seems to have. Nobody else is actually being grateful. Like if you just think about it, nobody else in your life has came over to you and told you, I am grateful for you. You've never gotten a message from your friend telling you how grateful he is for you being his friend. And so this is how you get ahead of people. Because think about it, when you're the only grateful person in the friend group, people are going to gravitate towards you because they like you. You become a more likable, more social, and better, like just better person overall socially when you're just more grateful. You have this trait within you that everybody wants but nobody actually is. And so I found that my relationships with my friends and my family just got so much better now. And while of course I'm not perfect, I'm not a freaking guru in a tree, like just saying grateful things about Nazis or whatever, I still say rude shit to my friends, and looking back I still regret it. But I've gotten a lot better, and if you do this habit every single day, you will legit be like 10 times more socially approachable than what you are right now. So yeah, the TLDR of this video is just, okay, stop being an ungrateful little shit. Go to your mother and hug her right now and just start being grateful, because nobody else is. So if you do it, you will be 10 times better off than everybody else. Again, my name's Atharv and I help teens struggling with their mental health and addiction to just change their lives around and to just improve themselves through the So again, my name's Atharv, and I help teens struggling with addiction and poor mental health approach life in a different way through self-improvement. So if you like this video, go down and click subscribe button so that you get more videos just like this posted to your feed. My name's Atharv. See you soon.